For the parallax back and also for the parallax front, parallax back is basically using our parallaxing layers. So remember, inside of layers, you have the background parallax layer and you have a foreground parallax layer. Our current home layer is this one, and you have the option to put regular tiles in front of here. All three of these get rendered with the same game camera, and then the background layer gets rendered with a separate camera, and the foreground gets rendered with a separate camera, which is going to have perspective on it to allow you to have some depth inside your scene while you move around. So if we go to the background, so this is going to be behind all the other layers. Okay. We'll leave the layers up. Actually, we'll lower it here. So we're in the background. In order for the parallax background tile to work, we need to place some tiles in the background. So I'll place a couple of blocks inside the scene so we can see it. We'll put a couple of blocks going here, like this. Okay, we'll go back to our cameras and go ahead and go to layers, and we'll go to our center. Remember, your hotkeys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to toggle on the show all layers or not. Okay, so if we have it set up for this, let's go to our properties for the parallax back. Let's go ahead and turn on the visibility, and we'll place in, what we're going to do is look at the size, the depth that the camera is going to render it out as. What we could say is, you know what, we want our depth to actually be pretty small. We want it to look a little smaller than the tile itself. I think default is like 45, somewhere around there, and then anything smaller will start to shrink it up even smaller in the screen. Alright, so how about we'll say about 65 for it, and the speed is going to be how quickly they go back and forth in terms of the camera focusing on it, zooming in and out. Alright, so if we push play, so by default when they come in, they're all going to look about the same size because the camera is trying to match just the default of the game camera. But and it's not actually a part of the game camera one, it's actually in the background, so you can walk through them. If I go to my parallax back, then all of a sudden I'm getting a very far shot of it now. It's moving back into the background. Now, moving around, it doesn't actually seem to show much in terms of the back and forth movement. This is because you need to have like a follow camera or some other kind of camera where the movement can actually occur. So if we were to place a follow camera inside the scene, we'll turn on visibility here. So let's go ahead and go back to what we had before. So inside the scene now, with a follow camera in, now notice when I go back and forth, it's pretty much spot on. It's pretty close to where the movement is. Now if I go to my parallaxing, now notice that I have when I go up and down, I can have the movement from behind the camera. When I go left and right, I have that parallaxing going across. Alright, so that's going to be your basic parallaxing for the distance for the back. And next one we'll do is we'll look at the foreground one, and then we'll put them kind of all together with some different variations.